Hello. Hi everybody. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for coming and I'm off stream. And remembering to come, even though I know I didn't set the like starting in X hours thing. I did that intentionally because I think, and we're going to be testing this with the whatever happens with this VoD, but I think that might be what's preventing the live chat replay from working, because the one stream I did without that, live chat replay worked. So we're going to see if that fixes it. But in any case, we're here, we're ready to bake. I'm not sharing my space with anybody just yet. There may be construction people through here, there may not be. It's really impossible to tell. So if somebody shows up, then we'll deal with that when it happens. But until then, we're going to get started with our cupcakes. So how are you guys doing? Fish cam. Fish is very, very far. I would have to run an extremely long cable to get you guys a fish cam, unfortunately. Also, this computer can't handle more than one camera. When I replace my main rig, then I can move that one into the kitchen, use that for baking streams, and then that'll let me have a second camera. Probably still not for fish, but for like, you know, an action camera for showing you guys how goopy something looks. Hey Hazel, I love your apron. Oh, thanks. Cake flavor of the week is chocolate with milk chocolate frosting. Sorry I missed your last stream on Tuesday. No worries. Can I have one cupcake? I'm keeping them all for me. I have boiling water stones in my glass stovetop. Do you have any idea how to help get rid of them? Boiling water stones. Boiling water stones. I have no idea what that means, honestly. It sounds frightening. Never caught a live baking stream? Well, welcome. Hair looks more lilac in this light. Yeah, it's really hard to tell you guys what color it actually is because it does look different in every room. This room in particular, the overhead light, like if I turn it off, it completely changes because this thing is like orange and it just washes the whole room into yellowness, and it's really impossible to compensate for. But anyways, this is a picture of the cupcakes. I don't remember if I showed you guys these already. They are Stormpike Commando Cupcakes, which means that they're just going to have some blue in the frosting, assuming that I can like manage the piping thing. We've never been very good at piping around here, but you know, it's not for lack of trying. Okay, so we're going to be making 12 cupcakes. So I only need one of these. That's why I was holding like a bajillion muffin trays, because I wasn't sure how many I was going to need, but apparently just the one. So I'm going to preheat the oven, wipe down this because it has some unidentified crumbs in it, which are slightly frightening. And then we're going to get started with mixing together the cupcake batter from scratch, which is also frightening, but you know, this is no time to be afraid. This is a brave cupcake stream, all right? We're courageous here. So I know I just said the things that I was going to do. There we go. I figured it out. Would you ever consider playing Black Desert again? I mean, I would love to play Black Desert now. I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time to manage another MMO. I barely have the time to manage WoW. I'm trying to do too much in WoW, and I'm barely trying to do anything in WoW. So probably not. Not unless my life situation changed drastically. Welcome to the inn. What level is your Void Elf? And this is my first stream. Hi Mitchell. My Void Elf is level 110. I reached level 110 yesterday. I did it off stream, but I tried to record my final leveling moment so that I could at least have a clip of that to use and stuff, but then I messed it up and I didn't actually record it. I recorded like 5 seconds after that, and I'm like, well, that's no good. Am I dropping frames? My computer looks a little sad. Hopefully it's okay. Jacob Denuser, thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. Love your hair for the Alliance. Thank you, Coro. Would you ever consider dyeing your hair green? I would love to do my hair green. I actually preferred the idea of green to purple, but we did a vote. We actually did a vote on the channel. We decided purple for Void Elves. But in the also slightly unlikely event that I one day get back into rated arena and start playing my Resto Druid all the time again, then I would love to go full forest green Resto Druid hair. I would be all about that. But not anytime soon. I think I'm gonna be purple for at the very least early BFA, if not the entirety of BFA. So, okay, oven's preheating. Muffin tin is ready. I got some muffin tin cupcake paper circle doily things to. There's a word for these, liners. Anyways, we got those, so we can use those later. For now, we need to start. Excuse me. Mixing together butter, sugar, and vanilla for about a minute. I was supposed to soften this. I never remember. Absolutely never. So I'm going to once again microwave it because I don't really see why not. So we're going to give that like 10 seconds-ish. I have a dish that will do for that. Oh, man. There should be a downtime section kind of like midstream once the cupcakes are baking. I mean, yeah, because they have to bake and then they have to cool and then we can frost them. So I'm trying to think of how I can aggressively cool them, because I really want to decorate them on stream, but there's a limited amount of time I can be here. Bake time, prep time, yeah, it doesn't really count for cooling time. Anyways, I'm going to start by softening the butter. We'll deal with that when we get there. If absolutely needed, I'll do the decorating off stream, but that would be a real shame. That would be a darn shame. Norma isn't here, let's party. I mean, are you saying that it's not a party with Norma? Because I think that Norma brings the party. Your hair is mossy green. Do you have any Horde characters on EU? My European account is Horde, and then I do have some Horde characters left over from Miss Pandaria back when I played Horde, but I haven't really done much with them since then. Oh, that's not true. I have one level 110 Horde character. It's a Troll Resto Druid for when I want to queue and I need to queue with people on Horde. I haven't used it in like a year. Okay, so what did I say? 10 seconds? 15 maybe? We don't want to melt it. We just want it to be, like, you know, squishy. Oh, that will do it. It's starting to, like, ooze over the sides. That's probably close enough. It wants me to use a hand mixer. I'm going to use my stand mixer because they rhyme and because this way I don't have to hold it. And I'm not seeing the real benefit of mixing it with a hand over stand. So anyways, butter, and then we need sugar and vanilla. So 1 cup of sugar, probably in 2 half-cup scoops because I can't fit a whole cup thing in here. Actually, I brought out my half cup already because I'm going to need it for all sorts of stuff. Oh man, this chat monitor is like really far. Oh no, that's my camera. Whoa, stay put, you're good. Never made it to the live stream while live. Welcome, Monster Ray. How are you doing? Can you pop them in the fridge? I mean, yeah, it's not ideal. They could absorb, cupcakes are particularly porous, and they could absorb some fridge odors even if covered. And then if you cover them, they could also, like, you get, like, condensation, they could become soggy. It's not the best way to do it. But it's not like putting them outside would be any better. It's currently very rainy. It's currently spectacularly rainy. Remember when I got a scale and I was all excited about being super scientific with all of the ingredient amounts? That didn't last very long. Okay, and then vanilla. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And I went and found my vanilla before the stream started today. That's going to save us at least half an hour. Teaspoon? Teaspoon? Teaspoon. This one. Your dog just left me. I'll come back eventually. Probably. Assuming that you mean it was just like sitting with you watching and now it's wandered off, because my dog does that constantly. My dog is particularly bad for leaving whenever I'm trying to, like, sometimes I'll be sitting on the couch watching TV and he'll get up on the couch beside me and, like, snuggle, and it's really cute, and he doesn't do this very often because he's not a very affectionate dog, really. So whenever he does it, like, I'll snuggle him for a bit, and then I, like, try and really sneakily reach for my phone so that I can try and take a picture of him because he's being adorable, and then the second that the phone is anywhere near him, he's just out of there. Absolutely gone. Handstand mixer. For some reason, I want blue in your hair. We could do blue at some point. I feel like a very cool color, like a blue. I don't know. I have no idea. Snowing in Ohio. Pop them in the freezer. They'll cool pretty fast. Just keep an eye on them so they don't freeze. Yeah, I might do that. I might just uncovered pop a tray of them in the freezer because we'll be here the whole time. It's not like I can forget about them. You guys wouldn't let me, right? So far, so good. It's kind of clumping a little bit on the central beater thing, so I'm just gonna try and, oh, it's nice and soft though. It already smells good, and it's officially nothing, so off to a good start. Over 14 inches of snow in Maryland where I'm at. That's a good amount of snow. That is full, you know, children in the street, snowman making levels of snow. I have to say though, I'm not jealous. I quite prefer the really mild winter we've had over here. Well, maybe a little more. I feel like that was actually the perfect microwave butter softener. Like, I feel like it couldn't have gone any better. I should try and remember how many seconds I did that for, because I'm never going to be able to get it that good again. Alright, so that's butter, sugar, vanilla creamed. We're going to beat in eggs. How many eggs? 2 eggs. And then half a cup of yogurt and half a cup of milk. Whole milk. specifically whole milk. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of the whole milk. I don't drink whole milk, but I did buy a bunch of it just for this, so we'll have to figure that out. Okay, let's stick this somewhere. 2 eggs. All right, and I'm going to do the responsible thing and crack them in a separate container. You can tell I'm really excited about it. Do I even have... Yeah. It's such a big bowl for this. You know what? I have a smaller bowl. I have a smaller bowl that is clear for a more dramatic egg smashing action. What are you making, Hazel? Hi, Maddie. We are making some Stormpike Commando Cupcakes from the Hearthstone Cookbook. They're basically going to be vanilla cupcakes with blue frosting and then sprinkles on the inside, which was very scary at first, and then I realized you're really just putting sprinkles into the finished cupcake. You don't bake them in or anything. They're supposed to kind of pour out when you bite into or open the cupcake, which seems like it might make a mess, but assuming that I send them into my husband's workplace and don't eat them here, then it's just like it's like a hilarious prank, you know? But instead of being humiliated or like damaged in any way, you've just got like some sprinkles on the floor. It's kind of, you know, it's cute. Egg number 1. Egg, 2, nope. Still not any better at that. I've been practicing, I've been eating an egg for breakfast every day just to practice cracking them, and I'm still awful at it. Oh, goodness. Snow day today. I've been rewatching your videos all day. Watching from work is the best. Thanks for always making these vids. Aw, thanks. What did I miss? I had to take a nap from a headache last night. I'm still lingering. I hope your headache clears up. That's awful. It's awful. It always sucks when they don't seem to want to go away. You haven't missed much so far. We're just getting started with mixing up some cupcake batter. So I also need to find my milk and then my yogurt. I'm going to be measuring half a cup of yogurt out of like an individual single-serve yogurt container. I don't know how hard that's going to be. We'll find out. I guess I'm just going to like spoon it in. But anyways, whole milk. Okay. Egg, then yogurt, then milk. So we're just going to start the stirring. Eggs. And then a half a cup of this. I wonder like how much is even in this. Like if I put this over here and take like a spoon. Man, I forgot to empty the dishwasher. I was supposed to do that while I was getting ready for stream. Oh! That was pressurized. Well, that's the eggs done anyways. Made it to a live stream. Welcome, Lou. I made craft dinner. This is enough cooking for one day. Sometimes I kind of miss craft dinner, although I think you can buy it in the States. I just haven't. I've been making, like, whenever I want, like, a boxed kind of... Oh, I dropped it. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Sorry. You guys can't see, but there's disasters happening over here. Also, I've... There we go. My mic cable. Whenever I want, like, a boxed cheese pasta type thing, I usually get, like, the Annie's shell ones, and those are pretty good. But I definitely have a whole lot of craft dinner nostalgia from... childhood. I feel like a lot of people do. Maybe more so in Canada. Maybe it's available here. I actually have no idea. Maybe they don't make it the same outside of Canada. Okay, so I really didn't need to use this intermediate step. It looks like this thing was actually exactly half a cup of yogurt. I could have just put the single serve yogurt in there. In fact, that might have been better because now there's like a bunch of it stuck to this thing. Whew. Actually, you know what? There's like a spoonful left. I'm just gonna eat that. This stuff's really good. Also, I'm kind of hungry. It's validated. The thumbnail is mount runs. Is it? I tried to change it. That's frustrating. Hang on. I can fix that. Alright, well if that doesn't fix it, nothing will. I'm starting to get a little bit concerned about my computer, guys. Like, I know I'm replacing it soon, so it's not that big of a deal, but I might need to replace it sooner than I intended soon to be. It's starting to hang up on really normal activities, and when you check the task manager, it's like kind of stressing itself out. Where are you living that you don't have KD? We might have KD. Honestly, I don't do the grocery shopping. I make the grocery shopping list, and then my husband picks up the stuff on his way home, so I haven't seen lately. Frustrating machine viewers love our content, so happy. Oh, thanks. I'm not going to read out your name, but I do think it's vaguely funny. I was doing something other than just eating yogurt. Oh yeah, I need to mix this in. And then half a cup of whole milk. I knew I had a plan. But yeah, the video that I put out yesterday, I was having fun with like titles and text animation and stuff. And I swear, every time I open up After Effects, my computer just tries its hardest to die. It's not having it. I ordered an extra hard drive because I want to reconfigure the way I have my drive set up for editing, and I wanted one more SSD to add to the mix. So hopefully that'll help, but if not, I might have to just go in and do the new rig a little early. It would suck to buy like a graphics card right before new graphics cards come out, but it's not like you can't upgrade it one day. And also, graphics cards are a surprisingly small part of what's important in a rig for what I do. Like, obviously you need a good one, but you don't need, like, it doesn't need to be the most insane part of your rig. Okay, does she only stream from YouTube? Yep, that's true. Would you ever play a male character? My Draenei is male. My Draenei Death Knight is male, and then I have, this is not quite getting everything in here. I'm gonna just hand scoop this for a second. I haven't played it in expansion, but back in Warlords, when I had Resto Druids at the wazoo, I had a Night Elf male Resto Druid that I would PvP on, and his name was Hazelbro, and that was, you know, it was the funniest thing ever to 2014 me, and honestly, it's still pretty funny. Are you mixed yet? Alright, well, it's kind of lumpy, but we'll deal with that later. I'm going to mix my dry ingredients, which I probably should have done earlier, but, you know, hindsight and all that. So we're looking for 1.5 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon salt, and then some baking powder and baking soda. I'll start with the flour. It does specify cake flour, so if this is ruined, then it's probably because I used all-purpose flour, because I don't own cake flour. Why would I own cake flour? To be honest with you guys, I don't particularly like cake, which I know makes this kind of awful, but it's not like I hate it. It's just not really a preferred dessert for me. And I do enjoy trying to make cakes pretty. And I enjoy that other people enjoy eating cake. What am I doing? I'm looking, there we go. So, you know, when I make cake and I can share it with people, that's usually the best way to go. Contact Origin, see if they will build you a system. I was thinking about something like that, or like if I went with a personal build, like contacting a couple of companies to see if they would want to supply anything. But, what if they're like, okay, yeah, we'll send you something, but here's this mid-range thing that's not actually the thing that you need. Like, that's kind of awkward. But maybe I'm just worrying about something that's not a thing. I guess it doesn't hurt to ask. It's not like I'm going to get fired. I don't work there. Here we go. And then, so that's 1.5 cups of the flour. Would you ever make a video on how you and your husband met? Sorry if I definitely haven't done that yet. Not something you want to do. I probably won't. Mostly because it's a very short story. We met in online dating. That's kind of it. I probably won't really... I don't really do a whole lot of stuff focused on my relationship on my channel. I very much like to keep them very separate. Which is, all my toons are female because they look cute and pretty. Their animations are pretty cool. I do think that a lot of the female animations are better than the male animations for most races, not all races. I prefer male Draenei to female Draenei. I think female Draenei look great, but I really like male Draenei animations. What am I doing? So how much? All right, 1/4 teaspoon of this and 3/4 teaspoon of this. So if I get my spoons back, 1/4 teaspoon here. for anybody that was worrying, not that anybody was, but about the fish tank temperature saga that I mentioned on yesterday morning stream. I woke up this morning, so what did I say, 3 of these, and his tank was another 2 degrees cooler, and I was like, well, this just won't do. Clearly this heater is not up to scratch. We're just getting him an upgrade, so I ordered him a new heater. My fishy must be very well cared for, because it's not like he can do anything about it, you know? That's my responsibility. My favorite dessert? Probably cheesecake. Probably cheesecake. I feel like there's a lot of really amazing desserts, but anything that is cheesecake or involves cheesecake in any way, or like cheesecake bits or cheesecake flavor, that's usually a pretty instant winner for me. So one of these. It's really hard to go wrong with a good cheesecake. But you know what I've been really craving lately, and we bought one of them, and it wasn't really, it wasn't, I feel like I want more, is Nanaimo bars. I don't know how prevalent those are worldwide. I grew up with them, like you can still buy them in grocery stores and here in the States. I'm assuming it's not that niche. But I grew up with Nanaimo bars, like, not everywhere, but, you know, as a fairly common staple dessert because I wasn't that far from Nanaimo, BC. I actually lived in Nanaimo for a while. So, I really wanted some Nanaimo bars. And we bought some, and they were good, but now I want to make some. And I almost made some last night, but then I realized I didn't have enough butter to both do that and then also this stream, so I didn't do it. And then this morning I found more butter in my fridge. So I could have indeed made the Nanaimo bars. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, that's what I'm doing. 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then we're going to mix this up, and then mix it in with there, and then we're ready to start pouring our cupcakes. I should not be doing this over that bowl, I should do this over this bowl. Because, yeah, that's why. That's why. Not the steadiest of hands in the world. Okay. I want the wiry thing with the floofy, the whisk, yeah. Floofy, wiry, floof thing. Favorite part about Legion? World quests. I really like world quests. I find them fun and satisfying and engaging, and I really feel like I can do as many of them as I want. Whether that be just like a couple or a lot, and I feel like I'm being well compensated for my time. Like, I feel like it's a really nice, low-pressure, casual way to progress my character and just, like, get some stuff done if I don't have the time or the energy to, like, commit to, like, a raid or whatever. Really big fan of the world quest system. Alright, so that's dry ingredients. It didn't tell me to mix them together first, but I don't see why not. Alright, the batter should be smooth, so we're going to start this up. I wonder if I should have used a different attachment. Like, I don't want to beat it too much. I don't want, like, chewy cupcakes. But I feel like I've got some pretty lumpy batter with this, this beater thing. Actually, it's smoothing out now. Maybe I just needed its dry ingredients. Okay. So I'll let that do its thing. I'm going to prep this with these. You can't buy Nanaimo bars in store. They don't use unsweetened chocolate as you're supposed to. I see. Hazel, does that soda rise to the occasion? What soda? Hi, Tina. Wanted to say hello to you as a fellow gnome. Recently got Una. Love her hugs. Thanks, Lady Sicilian. I appreciate that. Okay, so this is mostly smooth. Let me get the... Get Let's get it out of here. Oh, no, that's wrong. That's the wrong order to do things in. Oh, man. Oh, dear. Oh, goodness. I swear I'm more competent in everyday life when I'm not streaming. I know it's easy to say that, but I promise I'm not this derpy. Okay. Oh, that's close enough. That's... Yeah. Ooh. Does that taste like cake? Huh? Yeah. Oh, that's good. Like a very vanilla cupcake, but like a richer one than you would expect from like a Star Mix, which makes sense. Okay, and let's make sure that this is fully and properly mixed. Maybe that's why they wanted me to use a hand mixer. Maybe the stand mixer is just not quite. It's a little lumpy still. Do you think I should have used like a proper whisk? Like it's a little lumpy. I feel like there's flour pockets in here, which are probably going to turn into flour pockets in the mouth. Should I just like grab a big whisk and like kill it? Coffee or tea? Definitely tea. Swirl the cookies. Mixer noise not bothering my headache. Hype for unlocking Void Elves. Feels like you're making some good time. You're halfway through 104 days is pretty good. Yeah, you should expect like a 2-week time. 2 in a little bit. Say hi to Brazil. Sup, Brazil? And anybody that happens to be watching from Brazil. Hello from Costa Rica. First time watching a stream. Viewers, welcome. I hope that you're enjoying. It's so lumpy. Every time she says vanilla, drink a shot. It's always got to be a drinking game. Let me take this. Oh gosh, that's thick. You know what's funny is that this whisk actually attaches to a hand mixer. That's not my hand. I didn't think this through. You know what? It's good enough. Close enough. It's probably going to turn into something that is probably kind of related to cake. All right, so I need to get some cuts into these and then divide the batter evenly. They should be about 3/4 of the way full, and then we will bake them for 20 minutes. See if I can use some excellent paper peeling techniques. I've never been good at this kind of thing. Oh. Use the whisk. It inspired me to bake shortbread today. Oh, shortbread's probably one of my favorite holiday. I feel like holidays have all of the best baking. Like shortbread and gingerbread in particular are like up there. Those are some of my favorites. I think I might do the, well, I'm going away this weekend, so I don't want to, I guess I'm not going away for that long. I'm really excited actually. I get to see my mom. I haven't seen my mom in over a year. She's driving down to the Oregon coast, and we're going to drive out to the coast and meet her and hang out for like a day or two. So I'm going to be gone sort of Saturday, Sunday. I should be back by Monday. But I'm really, there's a white one in here. Get out of here. I don't want that. We want fancy blue and white ones for Stormpike. I'm super excited, but since I am leaving for a little bit, I would rather, like, it would be a bit silly to make a bunch of desserts that then have to, I mean, I guess I could probably eat them before Saturday. It's already Wednesday. I don't know. Okay. So what's the best way of doing this? Like, obviously pouring is going to be a mistake. I think I just need a big spoon. I think I just need a spoon, and I'm just going to go kind of along one by one, and then give them 1 spoonful each, and then see where we're at with the amount, because I'm always, I don't want to overfill them or anything. There we go. This is kind of exciting. Like, if it's good cake, then I can be like, ah, yeah, I made that from scratch. That's right. Hazelnutty cakes now. I'm gonna stop playing WoW and just put sprinkles on stuff. Unlikely. Unlikely. I feel like cake decorating is always a little bit more fun than the actual cake mixing, but there's no point in having decorated like a really nice cake if it tastes awful, you know? I've never really enjoyed super fancy cakes that don't taste good, because like, what's even the point? You have to, they're for eating. Oh dear. I was doing so well. I was doing so well at not dripping any over the side. It's just disaster. I mean, I'll wipe it up, but still. Alright, so that was 1 scoop. I feel like we need at least 1 more in each one of them. How are we doing over here? What is in the cupcakes? So far, not a whole lot. They're basically a plain vanilla cupcake. But once we've actually baked them and we're sort of getting ready to decorate, what they have you do is they have you carve out like a little column in the middle of the cupcake, and then fill that with sprinkles. And then you put the cupcake plug top thing back, and then you have like a sprinkle-filled cupcake. And then they also want me to make some frosting and then draw a line of blue coloring down one side of a piping bag, and then use that to make like blue swirl piped icing. I'm going to try, assuming that the cupcakes will cool in a reasonable amount of time. I'm going to try, but I don't know if I've ever had any success painting a line of like anything anywhere. Arts and crafts, not my forte. Ice cream scoops work very well for getting a batter with less mess and equal sizing. That would have been a great idea. You're absolutely right. So these, it says they should be 3/4 full. I feel like we're going to end up with some big cupcakes because I'm still scooping, and these are definitely more than 3. I mean, I guess a lot of the volume is at the top of it because of the shape of them, so maybe this works out. We'll see. It'll be a fun, exciting mystery as to whether or not we end up with like massive exploding cupcakes. But yeah, I really don't want to overfill them. Also, my hand has gotten massively sticky from terrible scooping techniques. Oh, it's on my slip. It's okay. I think my cat is asleep on the couch, so I don't have to worry about her like coming underneath and eating something she's not supposed to. She's hard to wake up from a nap unless you're folding laundry. She can detect laundry folding through anything, but otherwise, if she's napping, she's napping. She's out. All right, well, that's close enough. Let's clean up the extra batter from mouse over. Poor slippers. They were pretty new, and I just accept that they're not going to look nice because why would I need them to look nice? That's what shoes are for. They had some hair dye tragedy involved. Okay, but you know, as better the slippers in the apartment. I pride myself on not dyeing anything that's permanent that we will get fined for when we move out. I found out that using like Clorox bleach to just directly clean anything takes it right out of like sinks and tubs and flooring and walls and sometimes the ceiling, you know, the odd door really does get everywhere. Okay, almost good. Close enough. Whew. Look good. There's batter in there. It'll do something. So these bake at 350 degrees, which I think I remember to preheat because my face is very warm, and 20-ish minutes. Oh, goodness. Hope you have a great time with your mom. Thanks, Martha. Turnip Farmer Hazel Pockers. I usually use an icing bag to put them in the cupcake cups. Man, I'm already upset about the prospect of using an icing bag to put the icing on. You're brave. Oh, man. Okay, so I have some cleaning to do, and then we will... So we're going to clean, and then we're going to make some tea. I feel like I shouldn't start making the icing until at least we're onto the cooling stage, because we can't ice the cupcakes until they're completely cool. So we bake them, and then we'll start making icing. How do they want me to make the icing? Beat butter, and then add confectioner sugar, okay. Oh, and add heavy cream. Just in case your icing needed to be a little bit higher calorie, just throw some cream in there, why not? It does make really good icing, though. Yeah. I'm trying to figure out the timing of this. I don't want to end up in a situation where I get really impatient and, like, everything else is ready to go, so I just start icing a cupcake that's kind of warm and it just starts, like, dripping all over the counter. All right, so let's scooch the camera just a little bit so that you guys can hopefully see me while I'm washing dishes. Nobody needs to see the door necessarily in case somebody comes in, but we're good now. We're good. So, what are you guys... Oh, I'm not a camera doll. So, of what we know about BFA so far, what is it that you guys are really looking forward to? Is it like additional allied races? Are you guys all about the island expeditions? You're really excited to quest and level? Maybe, what else is there? You know, obviously we have like new cities. We got some profession updates. I want to find out more about Warfronts. We haven't seen anything about that on beta yet. We've got an early version of Expeditions, which I still haven't tested, because they said that they were going to put some hotfixes to it, or not hotfixes, like some updates to it in the next build. So now that they've said that, I'm just going to wait for the next build before I actually go and record it, so that it's not immediately outdated. But we haven't seen anything about Warfronts yet. Say hi, how are you doing? Hi. What's up? What if someone is trying to break in? We need to see the door. Well, I need to let some construction folks in that probably don't want to be on the internet. Maybe they do, I don't know. But I can just adjust the camera if they decide to show up today. Leveling a Zandalari is a thing for me right now. Yeah, they look pretty good. The Zandalari Druid forms, I still can't get over them. I don't know how I would. I don't think I'm gonna play one because it just doesn't fit into my life. But man, you want a punk Dark Iron Dwarf Hunter? Cool. Looking forward to the last raid and the last boss. Not the first couple of raids, the last raid. Do we know what the last boss is going to be? Is it like a significant lore thing, or am I just confused? Dino Druids, new raids, Parrot Mount, expeditions, cool big boy Kulturans. I'm really glad that some people like them. There's been a lot of hate for Kulturan humans going around, which I think is very unfair, because I think they're very cool. And I think they're also very different than a lot of the races that we have in WoW, and I think they'll look really good. So I'm glad that there's some people that are excited about them. The new druid forms is my favorite part. That and the cities and the animations. The Wickerman druids, yeah, the Kulturan druid forms. I might like those. I mean, I need to see the other ones. I need to see like official feral forms, because there's been a lot of, I think, unless I missed it, but there's been a lot of speculated feral forms. There's been like some forms that look like they would work as a feral form, but I don't think that those are it. I think that those are like NPC creature models, which we have seen. You know, those models are used as mobs in BFA. So I think that, you know how the Kulturan Wicker bear form, it looks like a bear form. Like it's definitely very different from the standard bear forms, but it also looks distinctly like it's a bear form. It's going to do the same thing. So I think that when we see a feral form, it'll be very clear that it is a feral form. And then also, I think the bacon form is going to be really interesting. Oh man, I need to make some tea once we've done the dishes here. Once we've like cleaned up a little bit, I need to get the stool and make some tea. I'm having a hard time like standing up. I'm getting a little bit lightheaded, which is not fair. I ate breakfast and lunch, and it was a fairly sizable lunch too. I keep missing the first 40 minutes. I'm excited about Upright Orcs and with allied races. Bunch of things that show general class direction that I like. BM Hunters get 2 pets that we choose directly. I need to check that out. Because I used to really love BM Hunters. I actually played BM Hunter before I played Priest. That was the first class that I really played in Northrend, actually, in Wrath. I was a BM Hunter, like back when they had mana. And I need to clean this bowl because I'm going to need it later, and then I can sit down. Back when they had mana. And they're fun, but it feels like over the course of Warlords and then now Legion, they've given them so many summons that it's just like a crazy, insane zoo, which really dilutes that flavor of like a hunter with his spirit beast, with his like sort of soul companion pet thing. And yeah, I think I need to check that out because that sounds great. Like just 2 chosen pets sounds awesome. Looking forward to the story progression and the bee mount. I want the frog mount. You skipped my comment twice now. Hope you're doing well anyhow. Looking forward to the new druids. I'm sorry, Julius. I'm not trying to skip anybody's comment. I'm just trying to stay relatively up to speed. Did you go pink? It's violet. It's violet. It's like purple. This particular lighting shows it to be a little bit lighter than it actually is in person. I like the additional body types represented by Kulturans. Hoping to make a Kulturan hunter. I already have 3 druids, but the Kulturan druid is tempting. I mean, if you already have 3, you're just you're basically at a point where you're collecting druids. You know what? What's wrong with 1 more? One of my gillies made me the gnome wire puzzle toy. What a way to kill time while waiting for the guild to decide what to do on raid night. The gnome wire puzzle toy? Like an in-game gnome toy? I need to check that out because I have not heard of that, and it sounds like I need it. We only played Horde. Admit I'm tempted to roll an ally Kulturan druid. You want a giant skunk. Are there giant skunk models? Or you just, generally speaking, want a giant skunk? Oh, hi, there's a big pile of flour there. Whoops. If you read this, you didn't skip it. I'm happy. All right. I hope that helps. Let's get some stuff away. I feel like for tea, I have a pour tea that I could steep again, but I think I want some Earl Grey. I am so tangled in these the door pull things. They're catching my cord here. I think I want some of that new Earl Grey. I have my VoD teacup on the counter kind of over that way, so I think we should make some of that. I feel like it would go well with the cupcakes. They're starting to smell really good. I can't really describe to you how good something smells, especially when it's just like butter and sugar and vanilla. But it smells like butter and sugar and vanilla, and those are all very good scents. I need to wipe the whole counter. My patented organizational method to push things in the cupboard, and if they slide back in, then there's enough room. One day I will actually come up with a system, but man, I waste so much time looking for stuff. It's awful. It's just actually terrible. All right. Okay, Earl Grey tea. Earl Grey tea. I need to boil some water. I need to get my filter cleaned. I need to pick a teapot, probably the green one. It's usually a good amount of tea. Hazel, last time I tuned in, I was doing Capture the Flag in Overwatch. Just wanted to tell you, cheers and good wishes. I placed in the top 500 grats. Third time's a charm. There you go. I do remember that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Is that enough water? It's not enough water. We have upright cows and bulls. Now I want an upright sheep. I mean, Tauren have always... Wait, are Tauren getting to stand upright too? Don't they already stand fairly upright? No, I guess they do hunch over a little bit. Are they going to straighten up too? I missed that. That would be... Like, what if everybody just gets to stand up straight? Although, I feel like I would be not upset, but a little bit weirded out if they gave upright backs to Forsaken, just because in my mind, the Forsaken hunch is because they are literally missing vertebrae. Like, there is a, you know, cut and dry, scientifically backed lore reason. I don't know about science, but like, you know, they're decaying. It would make sense that they can't stand up straight. It's just all rotted away, so. And I guess there's no reason why they couldn't have had it reinforced, or maybe they're just not all of that rotted. And, you know, Sylvanas has been dead a bunch of times, and she still manages to stand up straight, so I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. This is the wrong teacup in it. Teapot. I need my other teapot. I need this one. Hazel, what type of tea do you drink when you can't sleep? So if I can't sleep, then I go for something non-caffeinated. I will go for like a peppermint tea typically, either peppermint or chamomile. Are the two big ones. I have some other herbal teas for like evening, but if I specifically can't sleep, it's usually a mint tea that will put me out. Filter your water. You know your stuff. I mean, Forsaken right now, but I want upright positions for aesthetic. Some Forsaken stand upright. That is true, that is true. I'm probably being a little too picky. Okay, so clean this thing. The Forsaken hunch is fine, just fix the spine sticking out for everything. I feel like that could be a toggle, because I really like that. I really like that out of some armor. I've never been a person to put on a cloak, and I don't know, I like the protruding spine, and then the hip bones. I like the hip bones sticking out too. It just kind of sells the Forsaken to me. But I guess that one doesn't make as much sense, you know, just like you get a brand new robe and it looks like you've already rotted through it. That's a little bit goofy. Okay. And teacup. A little bit of water. It's funny how the body posture is the unrealistic part when they're literally undead. Super excited to play a Meghar Shaman. Yeah, I think those will look really good. I think that's going to be a very highly played Shaman race. Anyone seen the Chinese Forsaken? They have to cover the bones with flesh. I've seen the way that the Chinese client displays skeletons on the ground with like the tombstones instead of the skeletons, but I haven't seen the actual. I mean, maybe not recently. I definitely haven't seen it since they like the Warlords model redesign. Did they do new ones? Pretty teacup? Thank you. It was a gift. Do we also get upright trolls, or is that only for the Zandalari race? I'm not sure on that one. I'm not sure. I should probably check that out, because I know that on the alpha right now the orcs can go in and just like toggle the upright, so I should just try that on a troll. I want to say no, but I can't think of a good reason why not, so I should double check. Do trolls get to wear shoes yet? I don't think so. You're a heavy black coffee drinker, but you kind of want to switch to tea since there's a bigger spectrum of flavors. Any advice with the transition? I would definitely start with black teas. They're going to give you the same, not the same kind of caffeine kick, but at least a larger amount of caffeine kick to kind of help you transition that way. And a lot of those will have very dark, strong flavors like you're used to with your coffee. A Lapsang Suzhong, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong, but it's basically like a smoky, like a heavily, it's like a wood smoked tea. And that one has been, I think, I think coffee drinkers tend to like that one when they're transitioning over. I wouldn't personally know because I've never really been a coffee person, but I've heard that's a good one for coffee transitioning because it's got similar flavors. Another one is hojicha, which is less caffeinated. It's one I actually drink in evenings sometimes, but it's a Japanese, I can show you actually, Japanese tea. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? No, not that one. No, not that one. Definitely not that one. I have, oh, here it is. So this is hojicha, and it's kind of like roasted tea stems almost. There's not even a whole lot of leaf in it, but that one tends to have a slightly coffee-like flavor as well. Very calm for evenings. That's about to boil, so I'm going to preheat my pot, just a little bit of water in there. If you're being wholehearted about it, you can fill the pot entirely with hot water and then give it a minute. I usually just pour a little bit in, swish it around, dump in my teacup to preheat my teacup, pour the rest of it out, and then steep my tea. And really that's only if I'm doing like a black tea that I'm paying extra attention to. A lot of the time I don't bother. Sometimes in the morning you just want a cup of tea. Like the Chinese undead model better. When I start playing again next month, should I roll a Balance Root or a Holy Priest? You're torn. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. Obviously, one's a healer and one's a DPS, so I think figuring out whether you want a healer or DPS is a good start. But you could always then be a Ruster Druid or a Shadow Priest if you decide you want to switch roles but keep with the same class. I really like Holy Priest. I really like Holy Priest. I feel like the Holy Priest design has been more consistently good. I didn't like... I guess it's unfair because I did not like... grab out my phone for like an extra time here. I did not like Warlords of Draenor era Boomkin. Like the independently cycling lunar solar power thing, not a fan of that. And they fixed that. They took that out in Legion. But I've played Legion Boomkin a fair bit. Not a fair bit, but you know, now and then at 110. And it just doesn't feel amazing to me. But maybe I'm just not a Boomkin person, you know? I'm probably biased towards Shadow because I've played and enjoyed Shadow for so long. People just like what they like. What do you think of Zandalari Paladins? It's a maybe, you think? I think it's a maybe. I think it's a maybe. I give it... I was going to say 50-50 odds, but that's a little bit generous. I give it 30-70 odds. 30% odds they do it, 70 odds that they do not. They would look really bizarre, I think. But, you know, Horde need more Paladin races, and you had to stick them somewhere. They could come up with some kind of justification. They made Taurens into Paladins, so you can make something up. Alright, so those are going to come out of the oven in about 5 minutes. We'll do the stab test to make sure that they are cooked on the inside. I have some toothpicks. They're risen. They're not, like, exploding, which is a good sign. They're not huge. And hopefully those are pretty good. So once we've got those out of the oven, I think we can probably start maybe we'll have, like, maybe we'll get them out of the oven. We'll have, like, a 10-minute, tea chill chat time, and then toothpick, and then we can put them in the freezer, like, because I don't want to put them right in the freezer because I'll just warm up my freezer and ruin my food, and then we can put them in the freezer, let them cool down more, and mix up some frosting. On Argent Dawn, you managed to drop the price of Silkweave satchels from 599 gold down to 290. Pretty good price. A Reddit post saying they were able to set a client option that made it use the Chinese model. Worked in 703, don't know if anyone's tried recently. That might be a fun thing to try, assuming that it's within the, like it doesn't break terms of service in any way. I don't think it would because you're using Blizzard assets. You're not like adding in your own assets or anything. But if it's above board and it works, then maybe I'll check it out. And that would be like a fun thing to make a video about for anybody that does prefer the other type of model. Thanks for the tea tips, no problem. How do you figure out what to main? I have multiple 110s, can't find the class. Alting so much is making me mad. I mean, what I always say is start by eliminating things that you have problems with, and then once you've got it narrowed down to a couple of options, just pick one. Like at random if need be, you know, eeny, meeny, miny, moe it. Just pick one that you like the look of, and then commit to it, and you will grow you'll grow into it. Over time, you will, as you play it and as you get better at it, find more and more things you like about it, and then you kind of become entrenched that way. But you just have to pick one and spend some time playing it, or spend a lot of time playing it. Just stop playing the other ones. Just play that one. And you may forever be wondering if you made the wrong choice, but at the end of the day, you're still playing WoW and you're still probably having a good time. Oh, my tea's ready. Hopefully that didn't frighten anybody that thought it was their alarm. That was definitely my alarm. Okay, I am deeply excited about this. So I'm not going to pull my stool in here until after those have started to cook. Then I'll be able to sit down. Hey Hazel, greetings from Belgium. Thanks for coming and checking out the stream. I hope you're having a good day, or evening. I would imagine it's probably evening-ish. Do you have a lot of baking experience, or is this a side project with a cooking stream that you've branched out on? I do not have a lot of baking experience. I am about as amateur of a baker slash cook as you can get. I've been baking for a long time, but I've never really been baking well. Let's see. Who's with me in saying they only started properly playing towards the end of Warlords and also played a druid as one of their first classes? Do you know about the exploding sheep near Stormwind, Hazel? Hunters can take it at their own risk. It explodes if you get too close. I also didn't know about that. Putting Discord. You dipped in and out before Warlords. You actually put in full time in towards the end of Warlords. That's kind of how I was in Northrend. I wasn't like super into, like fully into WoW and Wrath, but like in Cataclysm I went like all the way in. Hey Hazel and chat's not busy. How are you doing? How have you been? Are we good? 40 more seconds. I'm just gonna prepare my tea now. So rinse water goes out. I have on occasion forgotten to pour out my rinse water, and then I like pour my tea into my water and I go, oh no, that's ruined. That's not the dream. There's a ages-long debate over whether it's preferable to add your tea first or your milk first. In order to offend everybody, I do it both ways, intermittently, depending on how I'm feeling on any given day. Seems to make it taste about the same. And I think that'll do. That's about ready to come out. So let's give that a stab. I've lost my toothpick. Man, I was holding on to that toothpick for like 5 minutes. And I put it down on my book. Okay, that's acceptable. That's a acceptable place to put it. And, you know, I'm gonna give those like another 2 minutes. Like they're almost done, but they're a little, it's sticking to the toothpick a little teeny tiny bit. Teeny itty bitty. I feel you on the baking and cooking. My dad is a bro cook. Yeah, my parents weren't terribly, like they were perfectly fine cooks. They were good home cooks. But I feel like I inherited their approximate level of fanciness. How tall are you? I am 5'10" or 178 centimeters for metric folks. I think that those are the same height. You've been maining your Fire Mage since late Wrath, and I can't imagine maining anyone else. I always level alts, but I never get into playing them at max level. I don't know how people can play so many tunes. I've been on both sides of that. Before I picked a main, I couldn't imagine picking a main. I couldn't stick to one thing for the life of me. But after I gave myself, I think I started to enjoy WoW more after I really let myself get into one character. I feel like that's when I really started to feel like, I mean, I always kind of identified with WoW, but I started to really have more fun, especially because I was able to, like before that, you know, I was just kind of like doing a little of this, doing a little of that, collect a few things, you know, try a little writing, whatever. But like on one character, you're then able to kind of consolidate all that, start collecting all the things that you want to collect, and try and improve your gameplay as that spec, which is something I didn't really get until that point. So I think I was happier after I picked a main. You know that dog that you petted in Borealis? What about him? Don't tell me something bad happens to him. I don't want to know. Good, just been busy with work. Hazel speaks faster than my mother-in-law. Tea before milk makes it easy to judge how much milk is needed for that particular cup of tea, but that's just my preference. Yeah, that's the argument for tea before milk. The argument for milk before tea is that if you are already familiar with the amount of milk that you'll need, pouring your tea into your milk makes it less likely that the milk will scald and alter the flavor. But I've never really noticed a difference in the flavor. It's all good. But I do know that no matter which way you do it, somebody's going to be mad. There's no universally accepted way. Okay, let's do stab number 2. I'm going to stab a different one this time. We want to make sure we practice good cupcake ethics. That's it. That's perfect. They're just a little bit dark on the edges. Not too much. So let's get those onto a drying rack. Carefully. Anyways, I'm going to try and like scoop them out maybe with like a fork. Like obviously they're in paper, so it's not like they're going to get stuck to the thing or anything, but you get them out on the drying rack. And then I'm just going to set a 10-minute timer I'm gonna pull up a stool and I'm just gonna sit and chat for a bit, because that sounds lovely. That sounds like exactly the thing that I need. Why am I using a fork? I need a spoon. Oh, my spoons are in here. I should be emptying the dishwasher, but you know, one thing at a time. I already made some cupcakes happen. There's only so many things I can expect for myself in a day. A little bit stuck, not too bad. They're not huge, but I suppose you don't want cupcakes to be huge. I always kind of confuse ideal cupcake shape with ideal muffin shape. Like, obviously muffins, they rise more and they get like muffin tops, thus the term muffin top. And you don't really want your cupcakes to have muffin tops, but then when you look at a cupcake and you're imagining it as a muffin, you're like, man, that thing's kind of dinky. It's so little, but they need icing still, so that will definitely help. I do like the blue and white muffin or cupcake papers. I think that those are gonna look really good once we get our theoretically swirl icing. We'll see how well that goes. One thing I did not do is I did not get blue sprinkles. It was going to be like a good amount of extra money to get specifically blue sprinkles, and I already have a big thing of multicolored sprinkles. And I figure, you know, if a Stormpike Commando was to receive this cupcake, he probably wouldn't just like throw it on the ground because of incorrectly colored sprinkles. You know, I feel like they're more polite than that. Oh goodness. All right, well, that one's for me. So, had places to be. And oh, that one had places to be too. They're kind of slippery. All right, there we go. Those are on a cooling rack. I'm gonna grab a stool. I think I can do this without untethering myself. I think I have a long enough table. I looked into some wireless mic solutions that would actually work for this if I eventually did want to do myself a wireless lapel mic setup, because I could theoretically use it for more than just the baking stream, but let me scooch this monitor forward a little bit so I can see you guys a little better. It would be better for more than just the baking stream, but it would be kind of expensive, and if I'm about to spend a whole bunch of money on a new gaming/editing rig, then I need to chill for a bit. Oh man. Whew. Shout out to the Patreon support, by the way, for being the only reason why a PC upgrade is even possible. Otherwise, I would be just kind of like praying that that thing doesn't go. I mean, I'm still kind of praying that that thing doesn't go because I want to use it for this stream. This stream's being run off a laptop right now, and that laptop doesn't have quite enough oomph to power 2 cameras at the same time without dropping frames. Almost. Okay, let me see. I've never had tea with milk. Should I try it? Sure, there's no reason not to. You might like it, you might not. Teas that stand up to milk are typically very strong, very flavorful teas. The benefit of milk is that there's some teas that are very bitter and kind of astringent, and what milk will do is it will actually chemically neutralize the chemical that makes that flavor and make it taste much smoother. So like a black tea that's like really bitter, that tastes really bitter, maybe you add milk to it and all of a sudden it's much better and you can get more characteristics out of it that were being covered by the bitterness before. So that's the technical benefit of it. There's some teas that are said to not stand up to milk. They don't have a strong enough flavor. They end up tasting kind of watery, kind of milky with milk. Teas that are not very weaker, teas that are a little weaker, a little less flavorful are not as good picks for milk, but like a good strong breakfast tea, black teas. I've had some luck with Chinese black teas, Indian, African black teas for sure. And then I've also added milk successfully to a red tea or two on occasion. Those tend to be a little bit more desserty. I just found your channel a few days ago. I love it. Thanks, Beth. You can pet 2 other dogs in Velshira in the Druid houses, and one is in the other house near Blackrock Hold. Oh, I see. So is it the same dog then? Did somebody bring the dog from Velshira to Borderless? Because that would be cute. That would be neat. Use the red color of Stormpike. No! Missed half the stream. I'm going to put the VoD up as soon as it's finished processing today. I won't have another video ready for today. I've started something, but it's not going to be done for today and possibly tomorrow. We'll see. Hey, Chat and Hazel, you power level pets through Pandaria every day. Besides Farmer Nishi, what is a good trainer to level a second 1 to 3 pet? Well, I don't know if you're committed to Pandaria, but if you're willing to leave Pandaria, Ashley in Shadow Valley, and then Vishar as far as Barak, 2 Draenor tamers are perfect for that. Ashley in particular. Ashley is very easy to power level a level 1 pet. on. It's a guaranteed success, as is Vishar if you use the right pets. I have guides on both of those on my channel, but those used to be my go-tos for the initial boost. Especially because if you happen to have an Alliance character, Ashley is very close to the Alliance garrison. You can just fly right over. Could you use Discord in your phone with earbuds to be your wireless mic? It would be a much poorer mic quality than this one. I've tried a bunch of wireless mics. I've tried a whole bunch of them. Some of them had desync issues. Some of them had not working issues. And then some of them had some quality issues. Like, I'm at the point where this mic is usable enough. Like, it's on a really long cable, so even though I'm wired, I can still do everything. I just trip over it now and then. But I don't want to switch to a wireless mic unless the quality is better than this and it's as reliable as a wired mic, which is a big ask. So the systems that I'm looking at, which would double as like a wireless lapel mic for anything else, any other kind of away from desk video I wanted to do, but it's basically $300 or $400 for like a proper wireless mic system. Which is, it's hard to justify for the baking streams. These have been a little bit of a money pit so far. They're fine and they're fun. It's a Patreon reward, and I enjoy hanging out with you guys. But it's a lot of money. Hazel, the Tea Master, your new WoW title. Harry is beautiful. I'm jealous. Aw, thanks. Ashley is super easy. You get a mechanical Pandar and Dragonling, and she's just pretty much mega countered. I love the light with your hair color. I have to re-dye, fix up my hair in red. I mean, it's already a little bit early, but I'm kind of excited for the next time I redo my roots because I'm not going to need to lighten the whole thing again because it's pretty light already and it's going to fade even lighter. I haven't actually like shampooed it since I dyed it on Saturday because I didn't need to. But next time I redo my roots, I'm a little bit nervous about trying to bleach only my roots. I know it can be done. It's just going to take some precision bleaching. But next time I redo my roots and like add some more purple to the whole thing, I kind of want like, I still want like, maybe like a shade darker than this, but around this, like a warm, I don't know if the color I want exists. I want it to be I basically want it to be what my hair faded to last time. It was like a reddish, purplish, I liked it, I don't know. Love your channel, found your content while looking at pet guides, leveling a Void Elf Priest, and your level guides have helped a lot. Congrats on the Void Elf Priest. I just finished leveling my own Void Elf Priest, and I'm so excited about it. I've been thinking about doing a video. It's not BFA content, but because I just hit 110, I realized that it's really overwhelming how many options you get hit with when you're 110. So I was thinking about doing a video kind of breaking down what the different things that you can go and do, and giving like a template order of events depending on what your goals are with that character. So I'm thinking about making a video like that, because you know, you hit 110 and all of a sudden Khadgar wants 10 things from you. There's like NPCs all around Dalaran, your class hall's bugging you about something. It's just like a lot. So I was thinking about trying to break that down. What do you think of Volpera? I watched your video about them and I'm not sure that they will fit in the Warcraft universe. This tea is amazing. I think the Volpera, I kind of agree with you a little bit. I think I kind of agree with you that I don't know if they'll fit, but a lot of people, to some extent myself included, also felt that way about pandas. And I know it's a little bit silly, but I don't think I could imagine WoW without pandas now. We have plenty of, you know, animal-like races, so I think that they would fit in fairly well once you got used to them. And they're gonna be an NPC race regardless, so they are gonna be part of the Warcraft universe. It's just a matter of whether or not they're gonna be playable. Which is better to support you, YouTube sponsor or Patreon? I think that if you're just purely wanting to know which one I get a bigger cut of, I believe it's Patreon, but it's by a very small margin. So I'm always going to recommend that you choose the one that has the perks that you prefer. Like whether, like if you come to a lot of live streams, you really want the emotes, you want the green name with the nut beside it, then the YouTube sponsor makes more sense. And if you would prefer the battle pet giveaways and voting in the baking stream polls, then Patreon makes more sense. Both of those things will get the sponsor Discord role. You can get the sponsor Discord role from either one of those two things. Favorite pet that was added in Legion? I really like Squirky, actually. I like Squirky because, one, he's a fun color. Secondly, they sold a plushie that looks cool on my shelf, and I like having plushies that directly correspond to an in-game pet. I really like my Nightmare Whelp for the same reason. And thirdly, his moveset is super useful. I wound up using him all the time for Family Fighter, I think. Yeah, Family Fighter. And for just the, just regular everyday strats, especially in the Antoran Wastes against like the Antaean Cannon thing. Squirky was really useful. I really liked him. Although Grumpy was also really good. Very useful, very handy, easy to get, and adorable, so it's hard to say. I'm having Void Elf leveling envy. I'm lingering in the 40s on mine. Yeah. I feel like if I was trying to rate the difficulty curve of leveling, I would say 20 to 60 is kind of in the middle. 60 to 80, okay, so I would say 20 to 60 is medium. 60 to 80 is hard mode, and then 80 to 110 was easy, like super easy. Like it just blew right by. So it's definitely front-loaded with the more slow and difficult leveling being early on. It gets a lot better after 80. As long as they give me a reasonable backstory for the Volpera, I won't mind too much. First free Murloc pet. Oh, that's also true. I didn't even think of that. I had a couple of Murlocs already because I'm a sucker for BlizzCon virtual tickets. But yeah, first free Murloc. There you go. Do you think we get new classes in the future? And if yes, what kind of class is missing in WoW? I think eventually there will be new classes. I don't think it's going to be for a while. I don't think they're going to add classes every expansion or every other expansion for the sake of doing it, but whenever they feel like it'll benefit the game. I think if they do add a new class, it's going to have ranged DPS spec and potentially another healing spec. And it might be a leatherware. You could go with kind of like a Moon Priest, Dark Ranger kind of thing. You could go Moon Priest, Dark Ranger, Shadow Hunter. Those could be your specs, or you could have some amalgamation of those things. Or you could come up with something completely different. But that's the direction I would like to see it go. I don't know if it'll go that way, but that's kind of my prediction / wish list. Have you ever made a professions guide for Legion? Have I? I don't know that I have. Professions in Legion were pretty much, like, I did a fishing thing. Back in the Legion beta, I did videos detailing the updates to professions and the changes kind of going from Warlords to Legion. But I don't think I ever did anything like specifically. Professions in Legion are pretty much just do all of the quests and then craft stuff. It's pretty much it. Benefits of streaming YouTube over Twitch. Another mailware would be cool. Oh yeah, mail, sorry. I said leather, I meant mail. I meant mail because we haven't really had any additional mail classes. That's what I meant. I apologize, I misspoke. What would you suggest for 735 PvP? You want to grind Marks of Honor? If you're grinding Marks of Honor, if you can find 2 people that would have like a fun, chill 3s group, then you can just kind of like grind out some 3s games, have a good time, earn some honor, earn some Marks of Honor, and earn a Vicious Mount, which I did not do before the end of last season. I'm kind of kicking myself. I need to find myself just like a not high rated, just kind of casual, fun, laid back 3s group, just to play for Vicious Mounts, you know? Just to play, just to have fun. I feel like I'm incapable of playing without taking it too seriously and then getting down on myself for not being an instant gladiator. Arcane Hunter kind of thing then? Yeah, I mean, you can throw that in there too. I feel like there's definitely an open niche for another ranged DPS spec that can heal. Okay, so I'm gonna take this out. I don't know if it's been 10 minutes, I forgot to set a timer, but I feel like it's been some amount of time. I'm going to try and get these cupcakes in the freezer. I would like to put them, maybe I can just put them on this tray. So they're already actually feeling a lot cooler. I feel like the time it takes for us to mix up the frosting will be enough time for them to cool to a frostable temperature if I can just like scooch them into the freezer here. So if I take this fish out and then I have the same organizational rules for my freezer that I do for the rest of my life, which is basically just shove something in there and hope it fits. Alright, so that'll do. And then this can fit here, and then this can fit here somewhere. And that'll do. That'll go somewhere over there. Okay. Okay, I feel much better after a cup of tea. Goodness. Alright. Do you think the new races started at a much higher level? 30th time leveling and all is sometimes hard to grind through. I think there's a good case to be made for that, and one of the viewers brought it up last time, was that a new class is going to be missing big chunks of content for Legion because there was so much class-specific content in Legion. Actually, you know what? Before I start this is really silly, but I'm going to go touch up my lipstick. I think I just ate it all, so I'll be right back. Hang on. There we go. Also got to check my fish. Fish is good. I just like checking on them every now and then. I read some horror stories while I was reading reviews for fish heaters of somebody being like, my heater broke and it boiled my fish. So whenever I walk past his tank, I always have to check his temperature, and it's always fine. But I would hate to cook him. Okay. Oh man, that was exhausting. All right. So we are making some frosting. So we need a cup of butter, softened to room temperature. Whoops. Never in my life am I going to remember to soften butter. I probably could have pulled that out at the beginning of the stream and it would have been fine. But alas, I did not remember. So 2 sticks of butter. Maybe I didn't have enough butter, like to do both this and then also Nanaimo bars, because this is taking a lot of butter. I keep thinking I'm stepping on something, but it's just a Velcro tie that's on my headphone cable that's on the floor. Turkey still obtainable? That's another Murloc pet, not related to BlizzCon. True, true. Do I do raids for Argesian rep? No. No, you don't need to do raids. I don't think they give you any, honestly. You want to do... I have a video, actually. If you look at my Unlocking Allied Races video, it's called Unlock Allied Races Fast. Argesian reaches the first rep section that I go over, and I go over basically everything that you gotta do. The debuting the other day, but what it would be like if they added 1 new spec to each class. I think that they've learned better than to make content on that kind of a scale, because it's just a shockingly large amount of work, and that most of the player base will never see. That they've said that there was kind of a mistake that they didn't really see coming with like class campaigns. So adding 1 new spec to every class would be an insane amount of work for 1 expansion that most people won't get the benefit of, and you end up with like a warlord situation where you know, they spend all this work on the garrison making all of these different buildings that you're never going to see all of at once, and you end up with nothing else in the expansion. We're also going to need confectioner's sugar, known to me at least as icing sugar. All the same stuff. So hopefully 1 bag is enough of it. It says I need 5 cups. It's a pretty big bag of icing sugar. I'm going to soften this in the microwave again because it's been working out well for me. Hazel, you should do a house tour. I'll do an office tour at some point. I'm not going to do a whole house tour. 1, because I live in an 800 square foot apartment and it would take about 4 seconds. And secondly, just because I don't want to have to clean that much. I feel like nobody really needs to know like my bedroom layout. You know, that's like really personal, and it's not like it's a secret or anything like shocking. You know, it's like a bed and a dresser, and I have like some prints on the walls, but it's just not really related to what I do on YouTube. But an office tour, that I can do. That I've been meaning to do. It's one of those videos that I want to do after kind of like BFA comes out, because there's always like like times in patches, or at least there used to be, less so in Legion, because they've been making a ton of content in Legion. But there used to be these big stretches of time after content came out where there was really no new content coming out, and if you wanted to continue making WoW videos every day, you had to really dig deep. So I've been kind of saving videos like that are just always kind of an option for later in the expansion cycle when they're not, later in the expansion cycle when there isn't something more pressing to make a video of, but I don't know if that's ever going to happen. There we go, that'll do. So 1 cup of soft butter. Get this thing back. Kitchen looks pretty big for a small apartment. We've got a lot of counter space here. The kitchen is a pretty big part of the place. We've got... It's basically just, so there's my office and there's the bedroom. We've got 2 bedrooms. And then the kitchen, 1 bathroom, and then the living space, which is basically my husband's desk, our TV, our couch, our coffee table. We don't have a dining table. We basically eat dinner at the coffee table, which I hate, but there's no place to put a dining table. And this counter is the counter that you guys are sitting on right now is a really awkward height to find stools for. So there's no really good place to eat. Sometimes we eat at our desk, but then we're not eating together, and that's unfortunate. So what am I doing here? I am beating butter until creamy about a minute. So it wants me to just beat the butter. All right, well, I can do that. I don't even have to hold it. I can just like put it up, step back, gradually add in 4 cups, and then a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. So I'm going to find my 1/4 cup. I'm going to time that for 45 seconds, because I figure it's already been going for a minute. I'm going to get my heavy cream, which is it's in here somewhere. I know I got them. Not whipping cream, heavy cream. Here we go. I'm surprised it doesn't want me to put any vanilla in the frosting. Oh no, it does. Oh, okay, I add vanilla next, actually. Vanilla next. So, how much vanilla am I looking at? 2 teaspoons. Goodness, that's quite a bit. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Thoughts on High Mountain Druid forms. I need to look at them again. I know they're in the game. I just haven't seen them recently. I saw the flight form. I really like the flight form. 1 teaspoon. 2 teaspoons. And then we're gonna just add in 4 cups of this stuff. So, scrape the sides a little bit. This is not mixing in very well. I wonder if that's on me and how I did the butter. One cup. So we add, so we add all of the sugar, and it should look crumbly, and then we add the cream. Although I'm going to lower this down. 2 cups. Bring it back up. It's very tempting to just add all the sugar at once, because then you don't have to do all this, but then it just goes, whoop. Is that a real tattoo? Yeah. It would be a lot of work for me to draw it on every day. I didn't know chairs can be awkward. Cats or dogs? Both. I refuse to pick a side. I love them both, and in different ways. But I have a very dog-like cat, and I have a very cat-like dog, so maybe that's influencing my decision. So now this is our 3rd cup of icing sugar. Goodness, okay. And then 1 more, and then it should look crumbly. Oh yeah, this is definitely enough. I don't know why I thought I needed more. It just didn't look like that much in the bag. Oh, big mess. All right. Oh, I'm attached. Okay. I'll just wipe everything up later. This is gonna be so sticky. Oh man. High Mountain flight form is the worst. The ground travel form is the best. Is their ground travel form a moose? I don't think my dog knows that she's a dog. Flight form should be bigger. I really like the flight form. I take an office tour when you get time. Yeah. I mean, it's, again, going to be a very short video because my office is not that big, but I can show you guys, like, what it looks like from my angle with, like, the lights up there. What do you think will happen to Sylvanas and BFA? I don't think she's going to die. I think she might get impeached. She might split ways with the Horde, but I'm just guessing. I think it would be very silly for them to kill Sylvanas because they've kind of killed a lot of leaders lately, and at a certain point it just gets silly. And also, she's died a lot, you know? There's only so many times that you can kill her before it stops being surprising. Okay, so 1/4 cup of heavy cream. I guess we start stirring this and we just kind of like pour it in. Add either cream or sugar until we get to an icing-like consistency. Oh, that's starting to look pretty good. It needs to be a smooth and pipeable consistency. Yeah, I think that'll do. I'm always guilty of making my icing too, oh, you know what? That's lumpy. Let's, like, really whip it. That's very lumpy. I'm always guilty of making my icing too thin, so I think it's good just like that. Much better. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to clean up a little bit to kind of mitigate the sugar disaster going on over here. And then we can try to paint a line of blue food coloring down one side of a piping bag. And by piping bag, I think I might mean Ziploc. I'll see if I have an actual piping bag. I might. They better not kill her for good. That might just get me to finally quit. Even though I've been playing since Alpha, that's a long time. I don't think there's anybody that they could kill to make me quit. I don't think I'm tuned in enough to lore. Like, as long as the game is still fun to play and I still have people to play with, I think I'm probably gonna continue to play. I've never really been able to imagine something that they could do to the game to just completely ruin it for me. But, you know, you never know. This goes over here. Get these in the sink. Sink dishes are a later me problem. Don't want ants. Okay. Actually, I'm still gonna need this thing. So let's get it like into the bowl at least, and we'll see if we have a piping bag. And I think I need a little bit more tea. I think I need another cup of tea. I wonder if my cupcakes are cool enough. I guess I should poke them. Sylvanas will run is what she's good at. Savage. Okay, yeah, those are definitely starting to be, I would say room temperature. I would say that they're not warm. They're not particularly cool. What am I doing? I'm looking for, oh, I did need milk. I knew I opened that for a reason. I am milking my tea. Oh, man. I can hear the poor fans in my laptop working so hard. I have it on a cooling pad with additional fans, but the poor thing's just like, it's hard. You're asking a lot from a 7. Is it 7? It's from 2012. I guess it's only 6. I feel like I've been rounding up its age forever. If they kill Green Jesus, then I think they're more likely to kill Green Jesus than they are to kill Sylvanas. Like, he just got his happy ending, so, you know, he's done now. He's ready to die. Excited to see Vol'jin again. I want to see if he says something more about his choice for Sylvanas as war chief. My hubby plays Horde and asked me to level his rogue. I felt like such a traitor. Hello, Hazel and chat. Hope you're all doing well. I'm doing quite well. I hope that you are also well. Friendships are more important than the gameplay at times, but WoW overall has been solid. Yeah, I feel like every expansion has like a different flavor, and there's always different like ups and downs to it. You know, in Mists of Pandaria, at least early MoP, there was like so many daily quests, and that was very easy to get burned out on, but there was also a lot of really wonderful things in MoP. And, you know, in Warlords, I think the downsides are obvious, but in Warlords, I really enjoyed the Warlords PvP. I know it wasn't optimal, but I really had a fun time PvPing in Warlords. And the raids, I think, there were some really good raids in Warlords. And then Legion had all sorts of good stuff too. You know, we got Mythic Plus. You know, the Legendary system left some things to be desired, but like, there's always ups and downs in any WoW expansion. It's just a matter of whether or not the downs are a deal breaker for you. They've never really been for me. I thought Kata was a really solid expansion overall. Like, I can't think of any major issues with Kata. I'm sure there were some. I know there's lots of people that didn't like it, but I can't imagine why. I mean, I understand being subjectively upset about the leveling revamp if you were very attached to the way that it was before. But I thought the rest of the expansion was pretty good. I guess, you know what I didn't like about Kata was the last raid reused a lot of assets. Like, the final raid of the expansion, the Deathwing thing, that, you know, the Deathwing fight was cool, but like it didn't quite come off the way that they obviously wanted it to. And then I want to get all the icing off this thing, because I feel like it would be just a waste to wash it away. But I'm not really making any progress here, and I am not going to let myself just lick it all off, because that's just too much sugar for me. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wonder if high elf banshees would be a thing. There's so many elves. So it is a lot of elves. After a certain point, you kind of have to ask, how many elves is too many elves? Okay. So for blue food coloring, I actually have some of that. This set includes pink, purple, and then blue and green. And I don't think I've really ever used the blue. I use the red one all the time to, whenever I'm making sweet and sour sauce, because when I make sweet and sour sauce, it's brown, but if you add a little pink food coloring, then it turns like store-colored sweet and sour sauce. And, you know, I am crazy enough to think that it tastes better when it looks better. Okay, I guess I do have a piping bag, don't I? So what do I want to do? Like, how do you attach ends to this? Like, I have have stuff. I've just never really learned what to do with it. I have these ends that are supposed to go on like these little squeezy bottles. The squeezy bottle is obviously not going to work with the swirly technique. I have, I guess I just pick an end and just like slot it through to the bottom of the bag. Maybe I'll use this gasket thing. It's obviously not going to screw onto the end of the bag, but if like let's try and cut a precise hole. Let's try and cut just a little bit off the end. These scissors are not very sharp apparently. And then, let's see, maybe I won't use the extra piece. Maybe I don't need it. Maybe it'll just like slide backwards and get in the way. Do I need any kind of attachment to attach this, or are we good? Because I want like, oh, I didn't cut it quite far enough. It doesn't go all the way through. Turn it back a little bit farther. I feel like I'm gonna be able to make this work. Nothing wrong with the spine of Deathwing. Like, I get what they were going for. They wanted him to feel like this huge, big, you know, biggest ever, crazy, world-ending boss. And, you know, he was so big that you have to, like, pry the armor off his spine, like, fly around in the air like it. I see what they were going for. It's just the gameplay of it didn't quite pan out, and also it was nausea-inducing. I mean, I'm easily induced to nausea, but it was tough. Well, a little bit more. Tiny bit more. I'm just making tiny plastic trimmings here that I'm gonna have to clean up. And there we go. All right, well, the tip of it is very slightly protruding from the end of the bag. I'm gonna call that good enough. I'm gonna call that a piping bag. So we're gonna try and paint a line of blue food coloring using a pastry brush. This is, oh, I dropped it. This is my pastry brush. Like, that's huge. I need a more delicate brush. I need a, well, maybe it does need to be a big line. Do I want to make a line that wide? Kata was good. It was spread out all over the map, not like a separate area. You put the ends in the inside of the piping bag, yeah. Yeah, so we figured that out. Slip the gasket over both the bag and the attachment? Oh, there's an idea. But why? Just for stability? I don't know what that's going to do, but I don't see why not. You love the addition of Void Elves. You always wanted to play a Blood Elf, but Alliance. Awesome to get the best of both worlds. So, I'm tempted to just kind of try and drip some down, like maybe on one of the seams of the bag. Or I could use a finger. That's not a bad idea at all. I don't really have any craft paint brushes. I have the giant silicone pastry brush. Norma's here, Hazel. Hey, hi. Say hi, sub Norma. The gameplay was a pain because many couldn't grasp the mechanics. I guess the difficulty of Kata Dungeons early on was like intense. It was too much for pugs. It was really fun if you were in an organized group, but it was too much otherwise. Okay, so these are chilled. They're even chilly, but they're not frozen. I think that those are perfectly ready. Oh, you know what? Actually, before we even ice them, what am I doing? We need to add the sprinkles. So I'm going to get my big thing of sprinkles, or try and find them, if I can locate them. That's chili powder. That's not what we're looking to do. We need to insert the surprise, you know, the prank sprinkles. I never use sprinkles, so I never know where I've put them. It's like a big thing of them, too. It's like a pretty large-sized container of sprinkles. Oh, that's tea. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, not even bad. Okay. Speaking of tea, where did my tea go? What is she doing? We're trying to paint a blue line down the side of this piping bag so that we can have like striped frosting. We have a pure metal icing pipe thing, much better than bags. You're making piñata cupcakes. Use a jug or glass for stability. There's an idea. I should do that. Put it in a cup, fold it over the sides. Okay, I will do that. Actually, I should do that before I even start to paint the thing. So let's get a cup. Actually, you know what I'm going to use? I have a blender jar. I think I actually don't have the blender anymore. I think I got rid of it because I was just using my food processor for anything I would have used that for. But that should help. That should help. I feel like I need a taller one, but you know, what are you going to do? fold it over the sides. Kind of like that. Seems very surgical. Alright. I can put some icing in there. So let's just... I'm going to regret this, but I'm just going to wash my hands and do this with my finger. You know, that's how applying makeup usually goes. I usually start out with like the brush or the sponge or like the whatever they want you to do it with, and then by the end of it I'm just using my hands and it works well enough. Or maybe it doesn't, I don't know. Draw the stripes on after? Oh, onto the cupcakes? No way. I'm not coordinated enough for that. Okay, so this is going to stain my hands, but that's okay. There's no reason why it would be a bad idea. And why did I use my shortest finger? Well, that was ineffective. Let's try the drip strategy, shall we? Oh, that worked much better. Alright, so this isn't going to drip all the way to the bottom. Actually, it's not really attached to the plastic at all. The plastic is kind of repelling the dye. Huh. Alright, well, an attempt was made. There was some effort there. Good enough. I'm just gonna get... Oh, no, I'm not. I'm going to... Okay, we're going to add the sprinkles to the middle of the cupcake now. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take a knife, and I'm actually going to pull out my better knife for this. The fancy one. And I know this is the wrong tool for this job. I only have a really big knife, so don't hate me for using the wrong knife for this. And we're going to cut out the center of each of these cupcakes. Carefully. Alright. Like a cone. And then I'm just going to set that beside here, and then... Oh man, this is going to take some time. I actually really do wish I had a smaller knife for this, but like, I don't use smaller knives for anything else. It would have been very silly to get one just for cupcake carving. There's a lot of counter space. There's a good amount of cupboard space, but I've still somehow managed to run out of cupboard space. I really want to eat one of the plugs, but I need them. You need to like replace them after you have added some sprinkles. I think I need to go deeper. I think that per the picture of the cupcake, I think I need to make a deeper sprinkle well in the center of the cupcake. Buy some cheap thin art brushes? Yeah, that would have been smart. I used to have some for some reason or another, but I don't think I have them anymore. I'm not really one to keep something that I'm not using. I very much throw things out if I perceive them to no longer have value to me because I don't like having clutter around. I really hate having extra stuff. So I don't think I have them any longer. These holes are not getting any deeper, but I am making them wider, and I don't think that's the dream. Okay. Close enough. I really want to eat one of the little cupcake inserts. They smell really good, and they're like, you can kind of like feel the sort of crystallized sugar at the top of it. Oh man. Making desserts that are any fancier than the bare minimum is so much work. You have to like do stuff. I'm all about things that require like one step. That was the most off-center cupcake carve I've ever done. Okay. 5 more. At least I'm only making 1 dozen. With a butter knife. This is a chef knife. I don't have a... I mean, I have like a regular spreading knife, but it's not going to be sharp enough for this. I'm not trying to like mangle it. You need something fairly sharp. This is my sharpest knife, even if it is not the correctly sized knife. Make blue frosting and put lines of that along the edges. Yes. Well, the recipe has requested that I draw a stripe of blue dye on the inside of the bag and then add the white frosting to the bag. So that's what we've tried, or what we're going to try when we get there. We'll see how it looks. As long as I can eat them and they're cupcakes, I'm not going to be too... Alright, well that one's extra mine. How do I'm going to tear the bottom of it a little bit. There we go. So I can remember which one is mine. Because I don't want to feed somebody the one that I just threw. I did clean the floor before I started the stream, but I don't want to feed somebody that one. Oh man. You can eat the middle parts. I gotta put them back. There is going to be a trimming stage where you like trim it to make up for, like, so that you can get it back in. But it does want me to replace the cupcake caps. I got to level 110 of my Resto Druid and my Void Elf Priest. Grats! What race is your Resto Druid? What race have you made your Resto Druid? You could use the end of the piping tip to like... What do you mean, to stab out the inside of the cupcake? Maybe. I feel like this is working just fine. I feel like we're trying to fix a problem that's not really that much of a problem. Just eat it now. The fanciest thing you'll cook is like a noodle ramen thing. Ramen is really fun to cook, or like noodle soups and dishes, because you can just add stuff. Like, you don't have to commit to a whole lot going in, but once you're already cooking, then you start to feel like throwing more stuff in. You just keep finding things and adding them. That's fun. I enjoy that a lot. Alright, so I now have a dozen cupcakes featuring holes in them. I'm going to use a spoon of some description. If I can find like a little spoon. And put some sprinkles inside the cake. Let's just try and fill it up. There we go. These are not fancy blue and white ones for Stormpike like Chelsea used on the in the cookbook photo, but I think they will still be successful. And this is one of those desserts that I can actually eat on stream. Like, once we've iced these, I can just eat one, you know, they're good. I don't have to wait for anything. I don't have to try and remember to post an Instagram picture later and then forget forever. Yeah. Almost done. This part is much easier. And then we're going to do our best to replace the tops. I think I can just squish them in there. It wanted me to trim them so they fit, but you know, cupcakes are squishy. I can just squish them. We're going to be icing back over them anyways. Oh, that's not the way that goes. We're going to be icing over the top anyways, which is going to kind of like seal the hole, sort of. So it is kind of fun trying to figure out which way these came out to try and like puzzle them back in properly. So I'm not too worried about it. And oh, that one's upside down now. Ah! Should I put more sprinkles on top? There aren't any. Oh no, there are some in the picture. There are some on in the picture. You know what's funny is there isn't even any blue in this sprinkle mix. Like, it's a multicolored sprinkle mix. It doesn't include a single blue sprinkle. Okay, well these ones are fitting less, but actually, you know, they're all kind of popping out. Oh! I hope that those aren't going to displace the frosting too much. It'll probably be fine. Alright, let's put this over here so I can clean it later. And we're going to get our frosting into our prepared cup bag thing. Cookbook author probably used a gel food dye, so if you mix just a tiny bit of frosting with some liquid dye, you should still get the same effect. Yeah, but I'm really lazy. She didn't specify the type of color, and she just said blue food color. She also said optional. You're right that a gel would probably behave a lot better, but I'm kind of past the point of wanting to mix stuff. So we're just gonna like pack some of this in, and then unfold the sides so we can get more in, and see what this does. If I ended up just making a vanilla cupcake with vanilla frosting where the whole thing is white and like uncolored, I guess that's fine. You know, there'll be colored sprinkles. Alright, I probably overfilled that bag. I feel like you need some space at the top. So let's see if we can squish any of that down towards the tip. Oh, it's gonna. Here, I'll show you what it's done. Like, the dye is coming down the side of it. This is gonna be bizarre. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm just throwing cupcakes today. Okay, so let's. I put way too much dye or frosting into this bag. That is 1000% too much frosting. I need to get some out from the bottom. Oh, I'm just squirting dye right onto the top of the cupcake. Oh, man. Oh, you know, this isn't that bad. This looks okay. Kind of. You know, I'm getting a bit of the striped effect. It might run out later. This is kind of where we're at so far. Alright, the camera's not showing it very well, but the dye might be kind of front-loaded. Alright, I think this will get easier to do as we, I should start at the outside and then go around to get to the inside, huh? This is a very narrow tip. I feel like I could have gotten away with a much wider tip, and that this would have been easier to do. Oh my goodness. Man, cake decorating is not my thing. Oh! People make it look so easy on the internet. Okay. Alright. I have like just a big blossom of icing just threatening to like climb out of the bag into my face. Go down! Oh! Oh, it's slippery. This is just surprisingly distressing. Okay. I don't know how to get it farther down into the bag. Like, the bag has room now. I've squeezed out 2 cupcakes worth of frosting. Get in there. Get in there. There you go. Yeah. Go. Talking to it's not really helping, huh? Oh. The frosting tastes delicious, by the way. I got some pretty good frosting. I will take credit for that. Okay, close enough. Get back on there. And, oh yeah, around the outside, that's right. Outside. And then around. I'm gonna need to, like, fill in some gaps later. This does not look like the dream. Doesn't look awful. There's still a little bit of blue coming out in the icing. I feel like it's less and less as time goes by. But, you know, we only have to get through 12 cupcakes, so. Also, I feel like this is way too much frosting for a dozen cupcakes. I feel like I was supposed to use, like, half of this. This is so much. I should have known, like, 5 cups of icing sugar for 12 cupcakes? That's way too much. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I'll probably just put it in the fridge and then find something else to frost later, because it does taste really good. I don't know what I'll frost. Something. It's like getting mostly on there. This looks awful! Oh no! I think I might have better luck if I just gave up with piping and just slapped it on with a spoon. Like, look at what I have done. Look at what my best attempt at piping looks like. Like, I've got this is I'll try and fill in some of its naked spots. Hang on. Let's clothe you. Oh dear. Alright, well, it's got lots of extra peaks, but it's got a higher amount of frosting, so that's important. There we go. We'll just try and fill in our holes. Oh. I don't know how to make it stop climbing up the wrong end. I put way too much in it early on, and it's really killing me now. 800 cooking IRL. I feel like we're down in like the 250 cooking right now. It's better than a big blob? I guess so. I guess so. Sometimes big blobs look really appetizing. Do I have my pokey stabber pushy thing? You know, I've had some pretty delicious big blobs of icing. Okay. My hands are just covered in this right now. I can't touch anything for a bit. And oh, there's some air in there. I just want to get it on and then be done. It's kind of turning vaguely green. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know where green came from. There's only one color of dye in there and it's blue. But I feel like it's kind of filtering through to be somehow kind of green. And also, whenever I pipe anything in a swirly shape, it inevitably ends up looking a little tiny bit like the poop emoji. Oh. Come on now. Oh man, I feel really bad whenever people recommend my baking stream just because I don't want anybody to ever think they're going to learn anything. Aside from maybe some mistakes to not make, like don't overfill your icing bag, goodness. Also, I need to put more icing in here, but like the top of, like this icing bag clog at the top of icing has like made this impenetrable layer of, can we just, I'm very close to just using a spoon for the end of this. I guess I shouldn't bag all of it if I'm trying to keep some of it for later. Oh my god. Oh no! Oh dear! Oh gosh, this feels so gross. It's everywhere. Ugh! We're almost done. We've almost made it. I want to go back to making WoW videos. My hands get significantly less messy when I do that. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, man. Alright, well, we'll eat that one on stream. It's really good icing. Alright, I'm done. These cupcakes look great. Thanks, Zach. I don't believe you, but thanks. Okay, I don't know how to recover my... I think I'm going to have to, like, surgically extract my poor tip from this bag. Like, I think I need to just cut it out, because it's not coming back the other way. And it's not going forward. Where'd my scissors go? Oh, I have a knife here. This can't possibly be a bad idea. There we go. The last cupcake frosting. Yeah, I'm just going to eat that one. It will probably not give me diabetes. We'll find out. Can I have a cupcake? I'm not going to be sharing any food with anybody because I would hate to be liable if somebody got ill, especially if the food like spoiled in transit. But if we were having a party, I would certainly share my cupcakes. Show us a cross section of the sprinkles. I will try. That's a good idea. I have my pinky finger just has a super blue tip from where I tried to paint it with my finger. Oh dear. Okay. I'm gonna throw that bag out where it belongs. I need to. Oh, sorry. I hope that wasn't loud. We still need to add a few more sprinkles to the tops of these, and then I'm just gonna pull up a chair, have a little more tea, try and eat one, and then call it a day. I feel like sprinkles are kind. How did they turn green? I have like 2 that look like the picture, and then the rest of them are just kind of green. I don't know how that happened, but it did, and we're just gonna have to live with it. Can we get a fish cam? Not on the baking streams. Not on the baking streams. It's too far. It's just too far to run a cable. Nomi would have burned them already. It's true that we didn't burn them. What if we sign a waiver that voids you of all responsibility? I would need a lawyer to check it. I don't have a lawyer yet. I'm gonna have to get one eventually. Alright, I need a chair. Whew. Okay. Where'd my tea get to? That Hungry Gamer dude, thanks for the super chat. Buy an icing syringe set. Makes stuff like this much easier. Still looks tasty. I mean, a syringe set sounds fancy. I have these things. Like, these are like squeezy bottles, and then the tip's actually attached to these bottles, which is kind of syringe-like. So we have used them in the past. It's just I didn't think that I'd be able to do the line painting thing with that. But I will look into an icing syringe set. Are they hazelnut? No, no. I haven't actually made anything hazelnut flavored on the channel yet, mostly because the only way I'm ever able to get through all this food is by sharing it with my husband, and he's allergic to nuts, ironically enough. I'm pretty sure they're coming out poorly because you're rocking the wrong color apron. I disagree. The bottle looks hard to clean. It's dishwasher safe. You're right, it does look hard to clean. I don't remember how I managed to clean them last time. I have used and cleaned them before, so it's gotta be possible. Take a deep breath and enjoy them now. Oh man, that's the dream. Alright. I don't want to get up. Oh, I'm gonna have to get up. Am I gonna have to get up? Do I need a plate? I'm gonna eat it over a bowl. Oh, man. I mean, I have the little saucer, but I'd hate to drop it. Okay, so this is obviously the ugliest one because this is the last one with the frosting mishap. I think I might have to scrape off some frosting. I think that's actually too much. This is going to be not enjoyable if I try and eat all of it. Let's. It's too much. Like I like a lot of frosting as much as anybody, but that was just too much. There we go. That is a more reasonable amount of icing. Also, I already ate some while I was cooking, so. I think it's neat that you're a Canadian married to an American. I am an American marrying a Canadian. Alright, if you're planning on immigrating, I wish you the best of luck. It's been a heck of a ride. It's expensive. Alright, so cupcake paper comes off. Cupcake smells pretty good. I hope the cake tastes good. I'm always concerned whenever I make like a cake from scratch, basically. I'm always a little bit concerned about potential flavors. So I'm just going to try and take like a bite. I'm going to get this on my face. I'm going to try and take a bite that like opens up the cross section so I can show you guys. It's got a little sprinkle pocket. That's cute. Okay, they look awful, but they taste delicious. That's the important thing. I need to keep holding this. That's a really good cupcake. Bad hair day cupcake? Are you saying I'm having a bad hair day, or the cupcake's having a bad hair day? Looks like meringue with those peaks. It's been hell so far? Yeah. Oh, you gotta be careful that the sprinkles don't spill. I'm just gonna have to vacuum later. Yeah. I wish I could tell you that it gets better, but not really. Also, if I have any piece of advice to give to you, I'm sure you already know this, but keep everything in one place. Everything. Everything every second. All of it. Order it chronologically. Keep it very safely. Maybe even make copies and hold them in a separate location in case of fire or something, because there's some things they just won't replace for you that will cause you nightmares if they somehow get lost. Yeah. I feel bad being a Brit and recently started drinking tea. I feel like I'm only feeding the stereotype. You should never feel bad for doing something because it feeds a perceived stereotype. Like, that's something that I've had to learn over some time, because there's a lot of things that female gamers are stereotyped to do, like playing healers, for example, that there's like a huge stereotype there, and people will like, give you endless amounts of, I can't think of a nice word for it. People will be really rude to you if they perceive you playing the stereotype, and then if you're not playing the stereotype, they'll make jokes about it anyways. You really can't win. And it's just kind of, there's a lot of pressure to not, but just live your life the way that you like, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a lady gamer, you want to heal. You know, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just you play the way that you want. Be British, drink tea. Tea's awesome. You know, I'm Canadian. I try and have good manners. It's not because I'm Canadian. It's because it's a nice thing to do. Pro-immigration tips with Hazel. What's the thing that people say? Girls don't play WoW. But do people still say that? I haven't heard that in a while. I feel like WoW is one of the more, like, Blizzard games in particular have pretty good female representation, and I feel like WoW gets quite a bit of it because, like, it's an accessible game for a new gamer. Like, a lot of women, not all, and when I say things like that, I'm never generalizing to everybody, but a lot of women, at least myself, didn't grow up playing games. Like, I had some games growing up. You know, I had like a GameCube or whatever, but I didn't grow up playing PC. So I'm spitting sprinkles. I didn't grow up playing PC games, and games were really intimidating to me when I first started playing games as a teenager in high school. And WoW was pretty easy to get into because it's set up to be like friendly not only to new players to WoW, but to people that haven't gamed before. And I'm not saying that's going to be the case for all women, and Overwatch was kind of the same thing. It's not going to be the case for everybody, but for me at least, that was one of the things that drew me to WoW early on. And then after I kind of got used to WoW, then I was able to experience lots of other games. I discovered that even games that people say are hard, like people say Dark Souls is hard, Dark Souls is fun. Dark Souls is not, it's not like mean, it's just fun. Priest healing, I'm a feral cat. Someone just said that to me the other day. Yeah. People are going to say all sorts of garbage, and you just kind of have to, it sucks that you have to get used to it. I guess you don't have to get used to it, but I've learned, I think, and I don't know if I've really learned this, but I would like to think that I've learned over time that the amount that somebody's opinion should bother you should directly correlate to how much you respect that person. And hopefully you have a good hierarchy of how we respect people. But like, if somebody that I looked up to and respected told me that I was doing something wrong, then, like, for example, if somebody says I'm editing a video wrong, like I'm doing it wrong, this doesn't look good, it sucks, you suck. If that person is like a world-class video editor that I've heard of, that I look up to, that I appreciate their work, then I'm probably going to look twice at it. If it's somebody with no profile picture that I've never heard of, that has, like, dubstep montages on their channel, I'm not going to worry about it as much, because it's not somebody that I know and respect. Whenever somebody completely random is saying something that you don't appreciate, there's no obligation to take it seriously. Do you avoid your fish and cat being in the same room? I don't let them be in the same room unsupervised, especially because the fish is a very new addition to the home. She's not allowed in the room, like the cat's not allowed in there if I'm not in there, but they've been fine so far. I don't mind them being in the same room as long as I'm there, because she seems to just kind of, she watches the tank for a bit and then she falls asleep. I'm just going to eat the rest of this. Trying to figure out if you want a Lightforged or human paladin, you're a horde man. If you can unlock, if you have Lightforged unlocked, I would do Lightforged. Lightforged paladins look so cool. I only started drinking tea after a steward at my local football ground noticed you were freezing, offered to make me some. It was amazing. Tea, when you are either cold or sad. Like if you're upset and somebody makes you tea and it's like a tea filled with love and good feelings, or if you're cold and somebody makes you tea and it's a tea filled with warmth and good feelings, is the best tea. Like the best tea is the tea that somebody made for you and you know that they care because they made you tea. Like, and tea is the highest form of expression of love in my opinion. Obviously maybe the steward didn't, I don't know if the steward like loves you, but like the thoughtfulness of somebody making you tea for your own benefit, I think really amps up the tea flavor. It just makes for a very enjoyable cup of tea. What size tank did you get? 5 gallons. Flood of the Beta is in a 5-gallon fish tank, which turned out to not be very expensive, and is actually quite a bit easier to maintain than smaller tanks. So I think it is a perfect size for a Beta fish tank. Looks really good too. Looks really good. That's how you eat a cupcake. Nice cuppa is the British solution for everything. Life getting you down tea. Broken leg tea. I can appreciate that. What's up, Norma? Brave girl. I braved my way through these cupcakes. This is one of the scarier things I've done in my week. Actually, that's not true. I had to write a really scary email. My life is so hard. Okay. Your mom always makes me tea. My mom makes me tea. Well, I live in a separate country now, but she used to make me tea sometimes. Sometimes she like when your mom makes you dinner, it's just the best. My favorite thing for my mom to make me is she does this like, it's not like super fancy, but it's basically like a tuna casserole. It's like tuna, canned cream mushroom soup, like some peas or like a vegetable mix that includes peas, and then like some, and then you like bake that with like some cheddar cheese on top, and just like bake it in the oven like 350 for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half hour, I don't know, with some pasta actually, cooked pasta, mixed noodles in there too. And like when my mom makes me that, that's just the best comfort food in the whole world. And I haven't been able to make it here because my husband's allergic to peas and he's allergic to most cream mushroom soups because they use like soy protein that he can't have. I should just make some for me sometime. Alright. Nice to hear that you got a 5-gallon tank. Lots of people get bulls. I tried my very best to do my research. Probably the least responsible thing that I did is I'm doing a fish in cycle, but I got some API quick start. I have a testing kit so I can monitor his ammonia and nitrate levels and whatnot. And I'm doing more frequent 25% water changes while he's getting settled in, so he seems good. He seems good. And although he was not so I did my first water cycle. He was not afraid of the siphon. Like, I kind of expected him to swim away from the siphon so I could clean. He would not stand down. I had to, like, vacuum gravel around him because he would not move. He was just, like, flaring at it and, like, trying to fight it. I'm like, dude, the thing is actually sucking water. I don't want you to get sucked into it. Kitty, you want to say hi before we go? I know I'm scary. I'm holding, like, all... Oh, no, I'm too scary. I'm really scary with, like, all the crazy cables. Okay. All right. You put yourself out there, open to the public, do your thing. I mean, you guys are actually the sweetest internet community in the whole planet, so it's all good. Betters are hardy, give him way better care. Yeah, he seems happy or angry, but he's very active. So there's that. Oh man, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna try and clean up the disaster that is this kitchen. I'm gonna make this VOD available as soon as I can. If you missed any part of it, I will be streaming again on Friday afternoon, normal afternoon WoW stream. Don't expect any videos from me until either late tomorrow or next week. I'm going to try and do at least one more this week, but I don't have anything ready to go yet, so we'll see. Also, I don't know. Anyways, I'll be around on the Discord to chat later probably, so if you have not yet joined the Discord, there should be invite links in a variety of places, including the stream description, hopefully, and if not, on my YouTube channel. And thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.